Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Velocity 2015 in New York City. I'm here with Tom Lounibos. Tom, how you doing?
Great, Mike.
So you're the CEO of SOSTA.
Yes.
We had a conversation about 6 months ago.
Yep.
So what has changed in the world of SOSTA?
Well, we seem to always make announcements here, don't we?
Yeah.
We're always together for a new announcement. A lot has changed. When we were together in Santa Clara, we announced the Digital Operations Center, which has been really great. This is a new way of running a digital business. It pulls together all information around user experience, and we kind of store information around users inside of enterprises in a lot of different areas, and what we're helping companies do is bubble it up into a single pane of glass, a single view of user experience. So that product, the dock, has gone really well.
A single view, it could be a whole wall of a single view.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. As you saw, there's
yeah.
And it could be a wall, or it could be your phone or laptop, but what it does is it transforms your business into a collaborative platform, so that you pull together all your people to collaborate around problem sets, as well as running your day-to-day business on individual departments and such. So the dock continues to be a very hot product, so thank you for letting us use your platform to launch it. But a lot has changed since. One of the big news, a couple weeks ago, we announced a partnership with Accenture. Accenture is, as we all know, a global system integrator with 366,000 people, $62 billion in size. So whenever you're in a big market and you're a small company like SOSTA growing very fast, you need big brothers, and it's a big brother. What makes it really interesting is that they recognize the Digital Operations Center as a significant platform for them and their transformation into a cloud, digital, big data market. And so we signed a global distribution agreement with them, but probably even more significant, they made a large investment into SOSTA. And so I think in this day and age, everybody partners with everybody, but not everybody invests into everybody. And so they put their money where their mouth was, and we're thrilled to be partnered with Accenture. And we're working with them on relationships with customers all around the world right now, which is really cool. So very excited. And then today, we once again, in the tradition of Velocity and SOSTA, we are announcing a really cool new index, a new way of understanding and grading customer, how a customer is enabled by websites and technology. It's, I think in the ops business, we tend to look at page loads and kind of one-dimensional views of the user experience. And what we announced today is something called what we call the Customer Performance Index, or the CPI. And it allows us to, because we're uniquely positioned, because we work with such large brands around the world, that we monitor and measure literally billions of user experiences every day. And so we took the top 100 digital brands in the world that we measure, and we formed an index to compare your website or our customer's website or anybody coming to our website, their website
to the index.
So you begin to get a score. And I come from the world of baseball and sports, and so scoreboards are important. And so being able to very quickly, literally putting in your website, your URL onto a single page, you get an immediate score back as compared to the top 100 digital brands out there. And it's very, very cool. The CPI is an exciting kind of new index, I think, that everybody's going to be using.
So if you're in an industry and you want to see, like, let's say Nordstrom and Macy's, they can actually not only measure themselves, but measure how they stack up against their competitors.
All the retailers. And so most of our customers are retailers. We have 41 of the top 100 retailers in the United States, as an example, in that index. And so it's a pretty good assessment of how you compare and compete against your competitors. And it's not just on speed. It's engagement. It's about how, when do people bounce off of sites. And it's a very scientific process that we put to this. We put a lot of thought to it. It's not a simplistic, it's not one-dimensional, it's a multi-dimensional index. And it gives you a scorecard. And I'll tell you a little side story that, we've been getting a lot of press on it. But this is traditionally for digital brands to get a scorecard on their websites. But we decided to have a little fun being an election year. So we pointed the index towards all the candidates' websites, and to kind of judge their understanding of technology and how they look at customer engagement. And it was interesting. Donald Trump was number one, as the polls kind of attest to. He certainly is engaging his constituency. But there are some other ones, that surprise us a little bit. Jeb Bush came in last, with all the money and assessments and such.
History.
But it was Donald Trump came in at a score of 88, and Jeb Bush came in at 70, and that was a big gap. I mean, a gap of 2 or 3 points isn't so bad, but you want to engage with your constituency. So a lot of times it's sites ask for donations and too much personal information, and so you're seeing some savviness with some. A big surprise was Carly Fiorini. You would have thought the CEO of HP would have been number 1 or 2, and she was number 7.
Wow.
So
and Carson was second?
Carson wasn't second. Number 2 was actually Sanders on the Democratic side, and it was surprising that Christie and Carson were above Carly Fiorini. So a little bit surprising, but I think as we go forward, we're going to see a lot more candidates, as with brands, really look at customer engagement, how to use technology, social media, websites, and intertwine this omni-channel approach to reaching their constituency, whether it's a candidate or a buyer.
So the CPI, can that fit in the doc? You can start to measure your
Absolutely.
baseline and look at where you are, and if you change something, see if you failed or
Absolutely.
improved?
And that's how we see it used. So we see it as a real-time scoring environment that on a daily basis, people will be getting their scores. And I think right now we have so many different measurements of success, and while we like to think the CPI will become the standard, there needs to be some view of performance inside your company, and comparative analysis or benchmarking against your competition, to me, is kind of the number 1 criteria. So I think this is kind of a cool little way. I mean, we're uniquely positioned to do it. We've monitored and measured over 150 billion user experiences. We have the largest brands in the world. So we're in a very unique position technologically and from experience to actually measure sites.
And so when someone's measuring their site, and let's say they're using Doc and they're having the CPI, if they're measuring their homepage, that's one thing, but measuring their shopping cart and measuring other capabilities that they provide their customers is probably even more important than their landing?
Well, absolutely. I mean, from a scoring mechanism, you're going to see it down to the component level, specifically because we use so many third-party components. And so many of our customers want to see the top 10 service providers in terms of components as a billing system or some kind of shopping cart or whatever it may be. And so getting it down to the component level is kind of the next stage of scoring. But you need to have a baseline of scoring, and there's a whole report. I really would love everybody to go to our website and actually look at the report, read the report. It's advanced science that we put into this. So we don't think this is a marketing tool. We actually think this will become a scorecard for how all businesses will manage their performance going forward. So the category we're in is digital performance management, and that's the business that we're trying to help all of our brands.
And is this the Tammy Everts report, or is this a separate one?
This is a separate report, but I'm glad you brought up Tammy, because she's golden, and she's writing a book right now that is being published by you guys and such and us. But Tammy is writing a book on Time is Money, which is such an appropriate topic. When you go directly to a consumer, as all of us are doing, for all the digital brands out there are doing, you begin to understand what a millisecond means in terms of lost revenue.
At scale, yeah.
At scale. And so, I mean, it used to be if you're down for an hour or two, no big deal. I had one customer tell me today that a very big credit card company that was down for 24 hours. And we used to, say those were terrible, but now they're beginning to equate it to lost revenues. And so hours are horrendous, minutes are terrible, seconds are bad.
Yeah.
And so and milliseconds are bad. So we are really getting into the science of understanding consumers, understanding consumer engagements, and understanding what performance means to a business. And it's transformative. We're going from bricks and mortar businesses direct to consumers with technology.
So Tom, if you look forward 12 months from now, let's have this conversation next year in New York. What do you want to see accomplished with SOSTA in the next 12 months?
It's all about growth for us. I mean, we're so proud of how many of the big brands are using our technology, whether it be Nike or Apple. We have this great partnership with the Olympic Games, so we're the test platform, measurement platform for the next 10 years. For us, there are so many companies that haven't gone our direction, that there is just a wealth of opportunity for us in terms of expansion. So it's about growth. We're going into a lot of different geographic locations. We just opened Tokyo, opened Shanghai not too long ago, expanding through Europe. But for us as a technology company, it's about making that platform easier and easier to access. And I think the CPI is a great example of it. All you have to do is put a URL in and you can get a score. You can go to our website and put your URL and have your site tested automatically. And so what we're trying to do is make our technologies much more easy to consume, simple to understand, and you don't have to have an advanced science degree to understand the analytic results that come from them. So simplify, simplify, simplify is what we're doing from a technology standpoint, and integrate to make this platform the platform chosen by all the largest digital brands in the world.
Excellent, Tom. We look forward to that conversation in 12 months.
Thanks, Mike. We'll see you in 12 months. Thank you.